Yes, louder. I think that's good. Good evening. Okay, that is really, really good. Good evening. Good evening, esteemed guests, and a very, very warm welcome to this prestigious occasion this evening, celebrating and awarding excellence. This evening, we take a moment to recognize the dedicated efforts of our top first-year undergraduate students who, together with their teachers, principals, parents, communities, they have reached outstanding milestones. The stories and achievements, esteemed guests, that you will hear today are no ordinary stories. They are stories of perseverance in the face of challenges, and of discipline, of sacrifice, and potential that is realized through sheer dedication. Our students really do remind us that excellence is never accidental. It is not achieved alone. It is nurtured, sustained, and made possible by belief, opportunity, and unwavering commitment. So tonight, we honor not only the individual successes and achievements, but by the shared journeys that have carried all these students to this moment. And so, esteemed guests, welcome to the Vice-Chancellor's Excellent Award Ceremony of 2026. My name is Katlego, Letlonkane, and I have the small but humble privilege of serving as this evening's program director. And I would like to extend a very special, warm welcome to our special guests this evening, the Vice-Chancellor's awardees. I know they're sitting more here, I'm sure some are in other areas of the room, but our recipients, the Vice-Chancellors and Achievers Awards recipients this evening, the recipients' parents are also here today, which is lovely to see their parents and guardians who also come from near and far. Very, very great to have you with us this evening, even those joining online as well. Very great to have you this evening. And then the recipients' school principals, I know, are here today. And I think they know all too well what it has taken our students to get here. So glad to be here with you today. Let me take a moment to welcome the members of the Rectorate who are here today. Prof. Deresh, Ramjugernath is here. He's the Rector and Vice-Chancellor of Stellenbosch University. Prof. Deresh is here with his spouse and colleague, Prof. Prathika Naidu, who is a colleague and professor in chemical engineering at Stellenbosch University. Prof. Sibusiso Moyo is here as well, who's the Deputy Vice-Chancellor in Research, Innovation and Internationalization. Prof. Nico Koopman, I don't see. In his absence, Prof. Nico is the DVC of Social Impact, Transformation and Personnel. Dr. Ronel Retief is here, who's the Registrar at Stellenbosch University. Prof. Nicholas Smith is here, I saw earlier, right here, who's the Acting Chief Operation Officer. Prof. Richard Stevens is here, who's the Acting DVC of Learning and Teaching at the University. Prof. Sam is here today, who's the Acting DVC of Strategy, Global and Corporate Affairs. Dr. Leslie van Roy, who's here, he's the Acting Dean of Students at the University. Prof. Vickers van Niekerk, who is the Pro-Vice-Chancellor of Institutional Efficiency, as well as the Dean of Engineering, the Faculty of Engineering. Professor Francesco Petraccioni is not here today, who is the Vice-Chancellor of Quantum Technology and Artificial Intelligence, and then Ms. Karen Bruns, ISO, who is the Chief Director of Advancement, Stakeholder Engagement and Communications. A very warm welcome to members of the Rectorate, as well as the deans of the relevant faculties that are represented here today. Prof. Reza Daniels, who's here, who's the Dean of the Faculty of Economic and Management Sciences, Prof. Vikas van Niekerk, who we've been introduced to, the Dean of the Faculty of Engineering, Prof. Karen Bachis, who is the Vice Dean of Learning and Teaching at the Faculty of Medicine and Health Sciences, as well as Prof. Betty Fielding, who's here is the Dean of the Faculty of Science. We also would like to extend a warm welcome to our SRC. I see representatives of the SRC are here this evening, both from the Stellenbosch campuses and the Tygerberg campuses. Our senior directors, deputy directors were here this evening. Also members of staff, past staffs and past environments, including student recruitment is here, academic administration, undergraduate bursaries, loans, student fees, corporate communication and marketing, integrated data analytics, and faculty marketing and recruitment representatives are here. Right, you are all very welcome. You're all very welcome. If I may share some housekeeping this evening, the event is streaming, so the parents and guardians and principals of school who are joining us virtually this evening, it is good to have you with us. Bathrooms, if you haven't familiarized yourself with it yet, just outside the room to your right, and then also just that tiny little thing about cell phones, if you can just keep them on silent for the duration of the formal proceedings. Otherwise, the stage is set for an evening of excellence and celebration. So please welcome to the podium, if I may, Prof. Richard Stevens, who's the Acting DVC Learning and Teaching, to just share with us a few introductory remarks on the purpose of this event, why we are gathered here today, and how this fits into Stellenbosch University's pursuit of excellence. Prof. Richard Stevens is also the chairperson of the university's Bursaries and Loans Committee, which is the overarching supervisory committee on the university's rules and regulations applicable to the awarding of bursaries. Colleagues and guests, please welcome Prof. Richard Stevens.
Program Director, Dr. Katlego Letlonkane, Rector and VC, Professor Deresh Ramjugernath, members of the Rectorate, deans and colleagues, school principals, parents and guardians, and most importantly, our award recipients. Goeienaand aan almal, Molweni, good evening and welcome, also to those who are attending online. It is such a pleasure to gather with you this evening for the Vice-Chancellor's Excellence Awards for first-year students. This ceremony marks a significant milestone, not only in your academic journeys, but in the life of our university. Tonight, we celebrate academic excellence in its clearest form, outstanding achievement in the grade 12 final examinations, and the deliberate decision to bring that excellence to our institution, Stellenbosch University. We recognize 37 exceptional students who have distinguished themselves amongst an already remarkable cohort. Nearly 42% of our 2026 first-year intake, that's more than 2,600 students, achieved grade 12 averages of 80% and above. Among them, 347 students achieved averages of 90% and above. From this highly competitive group, 15 students received Vice-Chancellor's Awards valued at 100,000 Rand each, and 22 students received Achievers Awards valued at 75,000 Rand each. The Vice-Chancellor's Awards recipients achieved grade 12 averages ranging between 95.33% to 98.17%. The Achievers Awards recipients all achieved averages of 90% and higher. You'll agree with me, these numbers are extraordinary. But behind every percentage is a story, hours of preparation, moments of doubt, quiet persistence, encouragement from families and teachers. Aristotle once wrote, "Excellence is never an accident. It is always the result of high intention, sincere effort, and intelligent execution." As Gary Player once said in golf, the more you practice, the luckier you get. But also shows you how hard work continuously becomes a habit. Your presence here this evening is evidence of exactly that. But tonight is not only about marks, it's also about choice. An annual survey of our first-year students continues to show that Stellenbosch University's academic reputation is the primary reason students choose to enroll here. That reputation is not built on statistics alone. It is built on people. Our lecturers who care very deeply about their disciplines, on peers who challenge one another to think more critically, on a community that believes learning matters. Student success matters deeply at Stellenbosch University, and student success goes beyond marks. It is about the holistic person. Our undergraduate Excellent Awards model reflects that commitment. This evening, we focus on the two highest distinctions, the Vice-Chancellor's Awards and the Achievers Awards. Importantly, the Achievers Awards also recognize top performers from quintile 1 to 4 schools. This reflects a principle we hold very firmly. Excellence is found in every community. Opportunity must be expanded so that talent can flourish. The 2026 recipients come from 6 provinces across South Africa and are enrolled across 4 faculties with strong representation in engineering, economic and management sciences, medicine and health sciences, and science. Alas, nobody in law, my home faculty. At least I can say I saw the mother of one of the top achievers, who is a lawyer and was Dr. Liz Marie DeVille, who was my tutor when I was a first year and she was a final year. How wonderful to see her daughter here rewarded tonight as well. So tonight we see future doctors, engineers, scientists, data specialists, accountants, and innovators among you. Maybe eventually a lawyer. Yet, what connects you most powerfully is not your chosen field. It is your demonstrated commitment to excellence and your willingness to pursue it with integrity. To our parents and guardians, thank you. Success of this magnitude is never achieved in isolation. It reflects years of encouragement, sacrifice, and belief. To our exceptional school principals and teachers, we acknowledge your foundational role. The moment of gratitude later this evening is a meaningful recognition of the work you do long before students arrive at our gates. And to our award recipients, you arrive as a Marty with distinction, but excellence at university will ask something more of you. It will ask for intellectual humility. It will also ask for collaboration. It will ask for resilience when learning becomes complex and demanding. Albert Einstein once observed, "The important thing is not to stop questioning. Curiosity has its own reason for existing." As you begin this next chapter, may your excellence be defined not only by achievement, but by curiosity, by generosity in your learning, by the courage to engage ideas that stretch you. At Stellenbosch University, excellence is measured not only in academic performance, but also in integrity, compassion, accountability, and respect in how we relate to one another and to society. This evening, therefore, marks a beginning. We celebrate what you have already accomplished. We are equally excited about the scholars, professionals, and leaders that you will become. Thank you so much.
Such profound words. Thank you so much, Prof. Richard Stevens. It is on that note, and indeed a great honor, to introduce Professor Deresh Ramjugernath, who is the Rector and Vice-Chancellor of Stellenbosch University, to deliver this evening's keynote address. I'll tell you a little bit about Prof. Deresh Ramjugernath. He is the 13th Rector and Vice-Chancellor at Stellenbosch University, officially stepping into this role on the 1st of April, 2025. Previously, Prof. Deresh was the Deputy Vice-Chancellor in Learning and Teaching at Stellenbosch University from January 2021. Before making Stellenbosch his home, Prof. Ramjugernath was the DVC Research and Pro-Vice-Chancellor Innovation, Commercialization and Entrepreneurship at the University of KwaZulu-Natal in the KZN. Prof. Deresh also obtained his PhD in chemical engineering. We are in the presence of engineers today. From the University of Natal, he became the youngest full professor in his field in Africa at the age of 31. A preeminent scientist in the field of chemical engineering and specifically in chemical thermodynamics and separation technology, Prof. Ramjugernath served as the Department of Science and Technology NRF SARCHI Chair for Fluorine Process Engineering and Separation Technology until 2018. As a leader in his field, Prof. Ramjugernath has worked closely with the chemical industry in South Africa and internationally, and has undertaken numerous contracts and research projects. He has served on several company boards and has been a consultant for research and innovation for organizations globally. He has published and co-published over 390 peer-reviewed journal papers and over 350 international conference papers. He was also successfully graduated over 90 master's students, over 50 PhD students, as well as supervised and co-supervised over 22 postdoctoral fellows. Our VC himself has also been the recipient of numerous prestigious awards. Prof. Ramjugernath resides right here in Stellenbosch with his wife and colleague, Prof. Prathika Naidu, who's an accomplished academic in our chemical engineering department, and their 3 daughters. Now, we hear that besides being a dog lover and an avid sports fan who plays tennis, golf, paddle, Prof. Ramjugernath has a keen love for the outdoors. Please welcome Prof. Ramjugernath, everyone.
Katlego, thank you very much. Good evening, everyone. It is such a great pleasure to be able to host you this evening to celebrate the Vice-Chancellor's Excellence Awards for first entry, first-year students. To all our award recipients, congratulations. Your achievements have brought you here tonight, and we are immensely proud to welcome you to Stellenbosch University. Now, when Prof. Stevens was giving some of the stats, I think you really got an appreciation of the remarkable academic achievements of this year's first-year cohort. They are truly impressive. But behind every number is a story of commitment, perseverance, encouragement from families and teachers, and many hours of hard work. And that is what we are really celebrating tonight. We speak often about excellence at Stellenbosch University, but excellence in a university context is about far more than just marks. Yes, obviously, academic achievement is important. We know this reflects discipline, intellectual curiosity, and determination. But the kind of excellence we aim to cultivate here at Stellenbosch University also includes other qualities. Curiosity, the willingness to ask questions and explore new ideas. Integrity, the ability to pursue knowledge honestly and responsibly. And purpose, the recognition that knowledge should ultimately serve society. At Stellenbosch University, we want our students not only to succeed academically, but to become graduates who contribute meaningfully to their communities, their professions, and ultimately to this country and to the continent. In other words, excellence here is about both achievement and impact, the impact that our students, our graduates are going to have on society. Now, many of you had options when deciding to study. You could have chosen universities across South Africa and beyond. Yet you chose Stellenbosch University. You chose a university with a long tradition of academic excellence, a strong global reputation for research and teaching, and a deep commitment to addressing the challenges facing our society. When, my colleagues within the institution are tired of me saying this, but when you look at what we have as a purpose at Stellenbosch University, it's about the translation of academic excellence into in service of society. That is really what we are about as an institution. But you also chose Stellenbosch University because you want to be part of a community. There can be no better full student experience than what you find at Stellenbosch University that goes beyond the classroom, that goes beyond the academic experience, the experience that you have in the town, in the community, in the social spaces of the campus, on the sports fields. That is all part of the journey, hopefully, that you're going to be participating in and taking at our institution. It's a community where ideas are debated, where students challenge one another intellectually, and where learning extends far beyond the classroom. Over the next few years, Stellenbosch University will challenge you. You will encounter new perspectives, you will engage with ideas that stretch your thinking, and you will discover the most meaningful learning options happens when the questions become difficult. That is what a university education is meant to do, not to put you into a comfort zone, but to actually stretch you in terms of your thinking, in terms of your experience, and in terms of your development into an engaged global citizen. Looking at the world today, it's so easy to become despondent. I think if you're looking at what's happened over the last weekend in the Middle East, to read the news with a feeling of dread and doom. But I remain hopeful and optimistic about the future of the world. And I'm not talking about blind optimism that's not rooted in reality. We have the power to change our realities. And you, students sitting in front of me, you play a big part in that optimism. Yes, the current global reality can be challenging, but I look at our award recipients gathered here tonight, and I see future problem solvers. I see engineers, I see doctors, scientists, accountants, data specialists, and innovators. I see a generation with extraordinary potential. South Africa, and indeed the world, faces complex challenges, from healthcare and climate change to economic development and social transformation. The problems we must solve require talented people who can think critically, work collaboratively, and lead responsibly. Universities exist precisely to prepare people for that task. Our responsibility as a university is to create the environment where your talents can flourish. Your responsibility is to make the most of the opportunities that the environment offers to you. This evening also allows us to recognize the role played by schools represented here tonight. To the principals who have joined us, thank you for the leadership that you have provided in your schools. The foundations of academic success are laid long before students arrive at the university. They begin in the classrooms where curiosity is encouraged, discipline is instilled, and potential is nurtured. Last year, I had the opportunity to speak to some of our leading schools in terms of students coming to Stellenbosch University, and we had about 80 principals that came to the university. And I've said to those school leaders that our story as a university often begins in your classrooms, in your corridors, and in your care. The success of Stellenbosch University in terms of students coming to us and our journey in taking them to graduation is based on the success that you have had in the high school environment and in basic education. The work that you do in preparing young people not only to pass, but to excel is invaluable. And we are deeply grateful for that partnership, deeply grateful for the feeder schools that feed into Stellenbosch University. To the parents and guardians present tonight, this achievement belongs to you as well. Behind every successful student are years of support, years of encouragement, and years of sacrifice. Behind every successful student is a supportive base, and it is critical to the success of the student. You have helped guide your children through demanding school years, long evenings of studying, and moments of uncertainty. Your belief in them helped make tonight possible. Thank you for entrusting Stellenbosch University with the next stage of their academic and life journey. To our award recipients, tonight we celebrate what you have already achieved. But excellence also carries responsibility. Over the next few years, you will discover that university learning is different. It will ask you to think independently, it will ask you to question assumptions, and sometimes it will ask you to persevere, I should say, when the work becomes challenging. The real measure of excellence is not simply how well you perform when things are easy, but how you grow when the work becomes demanding. That is a true measure of excellence. Resilience, curiosity, and integrity will carry you far in that regard. Tonight marks an important milestone in your journey, but it is also just the beginning of your journey at Stellenbosch University. The achievements we celebrate this evening are the results of years of dedication and hard work. Yet, the most exciting part of your journey still lies ahead. The discoveries you will make, the friendships you will form, and the ideas you will develop during your time here at Stellenbosch University are still ahead of you. To our award recipients, we are immensely proud of what you have accomplished. But bear in mind, what you've accomplished to date is just the beginning. There's an enormous journey ahead of you, but also post-Stellenbosch University in terms of the impact that we will want to see you make, not just in your families and in your communities, but out there in society. We look forward to seeing the scholars, the professionals, and the leaders that you will become. And we are delighted once again that you have chosen Stellenbosch University. Congratulations to each one of you, and enjoy the special evening. Thank you very much.
We appreciate those words very much, Prof. Thank you so much. And on that note, we will begin this evening's acknowledgements and handing of certificates to awardees. If I can just have the team from student recruitment as well. There's Magdal. If I can also call Prof. Deresh to the stage, Prof. Richard Stevens as well, please join me on stage. And then Prof. Riza Daniels, please also join me on stage. Prof. Riza is the Dean of the Faculty of Economic and Management Sciences. Receiving the Vice-Chancellor's awards this evening, we start with, great. We start with the nation's top matriculant, Abigail Koch. Abigail is enrolled for a bachelor's in data science after obtaining a 98.17% average in their matric year at York High in George. Abigail is the national and provincial top achiever in the NSC examinations, the national top achiever in physical science, the Western Cape top achiever in both physical science and accounting, obtained an average of, wait for it, 100% in accounting and 99% for both mathematics and physical science. Well done, Abigail. Keeping the excellence going, we call upon Nina Benson. There's Nina Benson. Nina is enrolled for a BCom Actuarial Science at the university after obtaining an average of 95.83% in their matric year at Somerset College in Somerset West. Nina is in the top 1% of top achievers in each of her subjects nationally who wrote the IEB examination, obtained averages of above 90% in all her subjects, and noteworthy is Nina's achievement for mathematics, obtained an average of 99%. Well done, Nina. Nina? So, yeah, just follow the process. Well done, Nina. Nadia Hubert. Nadia is enrolled for a Bachelor's of Accounting after obtaining a 95.5% average in their matric year at Paarl Girls High School. Nadia is one of the top 40 achievers in the Western Cape after obtaining a 99% average for accounting and a 98% average for mathematics. Well done, Nadia. Rebecca Lochenberg. Rebecca is enrolled for a Bachelor's in Accounting after obtaining a 95.6% average in their matric year at Pinelands High School in Cape Town. Rebecca is one of the top 40 achievers in the Western Cape, also the top achiever in engineering, graphics, and design in the Western Cape after obtaining an average of 99%. Well done, Rebecca. Also calling upon Kuo Hung Wang. Who is registered for a BCom Actuarial Science at the university after obtaining an average of 96% in their matric year at Northwood High School in KZN. He obtained a second in the list of top achievers from KZN, obtained averages between 93 and 98% in all his subjects, and an average of 97% for maths and 98% for accounting. Well done. We now move on to our Achievers Awards, and opening us up is Jack Buckham. Jack is enrolled for a BCom Actuarial Science at the university after a 94.83% average in their matric year at Bishop's Diocesan College in Cape Town. Noteworthy, he obtained subject averages of 97% in both accounting and mathematics. Well done, Jack. We acknowledge the following student in his absence, Joshua Gergens, who obtained a 95.1% average in their matric year at Melbostrand High School. He's enrolled for a BCom Mathematical Sciences in the focal area of Financial Risk Management. We know that Joshua is also one of the top 40 achievers in the Western Cape. Renate Marais, where are you? There's Renate. Renate is enrolled for a B Accounting after obtaining a 94.83% average in their matric year at Midstream College in Gauteng. Her results placed her among the leading IEB achievers nationally. Renate's outstanding subject results ranked her in the top 1% nationally, and apart from obtaining averages of above 90% in all her subjects, also sterling is her 99% average in mathematics. Another achiever this evening, Aaron Miller. Aaron is enrolled for a bachelor's in data science after obtaining a 95% average in their matric year at Paul Roos Gymnasium. Aaron is one of the top 40 achievers also in the Western Cape, and amongst other achievements, he obtained an average of 99% in business studies, an average of 98% in mathematics, and in engineering, graphics, and design. Daniel van den Heever. Daniel is enrolled for a bachelor's in accounting after a 95.17% average in their matric year at Bishop's Diocesan College in Cape Town, also one of the top 40 achievers in the Western Cape, obtaining an averages of above 90% in all 8 subjects with an average of 99% in economics. Right, we're in the right faculty. Congratulations. Thank you so much, Prof. Riza. Can I call to the stage Prof. Wikus van Niekerk, the Dean of the Faculty of Engineering? Let's grab a cup of tea for this one. The Vice-Chancellor's awards go to Carla Durvenacher. Carla is enrolled for a bachelor's in engineering and chemical engineering after a 95.5% average in their matric year at Somerset College, received an outstanding achievement award for being in the top 5 of the national IEB achievers. Noteworthy is that Carla obtained 100% for mathematics and 98% for physical sciences. Calling upon Matthew Mackenzie. Matthew is enrolled for a bachelor's in engineering and chemical engineering after a 95.5% average in their matric year at the Deutsche International School in Kapstadt. Amongst other outstanding achievements, he obtained 100% for mathematics. Yeah, making it look too easy, too easy. Daniel Miller. Oh, it's Danelle Miller. Danelle Miller is enrolled for a Bachelor of Engineering in Civil Engineering after a 96.17% average in their matric year at Clarendon High School for Girls in East London in the Eastern Cape. Danelle is the second overall top position in the Eastern Cape. Amongst other top marks achieved, a 99% in mathematics, accounting, and history. Another Vice-Chancellor awardee, Michael Pierce. Please join us. Michael Pierce is enrolled in a Bachelor of Engineering, Electrical and Electronic after a 96.33% in their matric year at Paarl Boys High School. Michael is the second overall top position in the Western Cape. He's got the highest mark in information technology in the Western Cape with an average of 99%, obtained an average of 98% in both mathematics and life sciences. Congratulations. And then the Achievers Awards this evening, Chad Bacher. Chad is enrolled for a Bachelor of Engineering, Industrial Engineering, after a 95% average in their matric year at Red Hill School in Gauteng. His results has placed him among the leading IEB achievers nationally, obtaining averages of above 90% in all his subjects, with an average of 99% for mathematics, of course, and an average of 96% in both physical sciences and accounting. Congratulations. Lachelle Bester. Lachelle is enrolled for a Bachelor of Engineering in Mechatronics after a 95% average in their matric year at Kuro Hillcrest High School in KZN. She was ranked under the top 1% of the IEB achievers nationally in 5 subjects and obtained an average of, guess it, 100% for mathematics. Uluhle Cwele. Luhle is enrolled for a Bachelor of Engineering in Mechatronics after obtaining a 91.5% average in their matric year at Velabahleke High School in Umlazi in KZN. Luhle obtained averages of above 90% in all critical subjects, namely mathematics, physical sciences, as well as engineering, graphics, and design. Noteworthy is his sterling achievements in subjects such as geography, 95%, as well as in languages. Congratulations, Luhle. Jack Lawler. Jack is enrolled for a Bachelor's of Engineering in Mechanical Engineering after a 94.83% average in their matric year at Clifton College in KZN. Jack is ranked among the top 1% of IEB achievers nationally in several of his subjects, obtained an average of 98% in mathematics and 95% in physical sciences, also an average of 97% in dramatic arts. Bring it up, Kaya Mhlongo. Ukaya is enrolled in the Bachelor of Engineering and Mechatronics after a 93% average in their matric year at Mpilisweni Maths, Science and ICT School in Katlego, Gauteng. Outstanding results in all the core subjects with averages of above 90%, including an average of 97% for mathematics and life sciences, an average of 96% for physical sciences, and 95% for information technology. Deacon Mokoena. Prof. Deacon is enrolled in a Bachelor of Engineering, Chemical Engineering after a 91% average in their matric year at Sizwagele Secondary School in Sekunda in Mpumalanga. He is the top achiever in Sesotho home language in Mpumalanga with an average of 93%. He obtained top marks in all 8 subjects, including 92% in physical sciences, 89% in mathematics, and 96% in life sciences. Congratulations. Another engineer in the making, Tiro Mobako. Tiro is enrolled for a Bachelor of Engineering in Chemical Engineering after a 90% average in their matric year at Litiane High School in Mafikeng in the Northwest Province. He's among the top 3 achievers from Quintile 3 schools in the province, the top 2 achiever in Life Science in Northwest Province, an average of 97% for Life Sciences, 90% for Mathematics, and an average of 94% for Geography and 91% for English. Congratulations, Tiro. Austin Okafo, where are you? Austin is enrolled for a Bachelor of Engineering in Mechatronics after a 92.67% average in their matric year at Toys Senior Secondary School in Eqonge in the Eastern Cape. Obtained averages of above 90% in all core subjects, including 99% for geography, as one does, average of 98% for life sciences, an average of 92% for both mathematics and physical sciences, and an average of 92% for English first additional language. Where is Jessica Stradom? Jessica is enrolled in a Bachelor of Engineering, Electrical and Electronic after a 95% average in their matric year at the American International School of Cape Town, averaging 95% in all of her subjects. Congratulations, Jessica. And rounding up the engineers for the evening, Letlonkane Tsibudi. Yes, Letlonkane, that is you. It's a Bachelor of Engineering in Mechatronics after a 90% average in their matric year at Lehana Secondary School in Tsekong, Mount Fletcher in the Eastern Cape. Letlonkane obtained averages of above 90% in all critical subjects, including 96% for geography, 92% for physical sciences, and an average of 91% for both mathematics and life sciences. Congratulations. Thank you very much, Prof. Vickers. And with that, can we call upon Prof. Karen Bachis, please, who's the Vice Dean from the Faculty of Health and Medicine and Health Sciences. MBCHBers, where you at? Emma Boysons. Emma Boysons receives the Vice-Chancellor Award this evening after a 95.33% in their matric year at Clarendon High School for Girls. Emma is amongst the top 3 national achievers in physical science with an average of 98%. Among the top 3 provincial achievers in the Eastern Cape, 99% in mathematics, of course, and 98% in both accounting, physical science, and 96% in life sciences. Well done, Emma. Also enrolled for an MBCHB, Amanda Carstens, who obtained a 95.5% average in their matric year at Hoërskool Porterville. Amanda is the national top achiever in geography with a subject average of course, 100%, obtained average of 99% for life sciences and 97% for physical sciences. Congratulations, Amanda. Lilies van der Walt. There we go. Lilies is enrolled for an MB-CHB after a 95.5% average in their matric year at the Hoërskool Menlo Park in Tshwane, Gauteng. Lilies has obtained subject averages of above 90% in all the critical subjects for her study program, as well as her language subjects. Congratulations, Lilies. Kristen Williamson. Kristen is enrolled for an MB-CHB after a 95.5% average in their matric year at Rhenish Girls High School. She's one of the top 10 learners in the Western Cape, obtained averages of about 90% in all her subjects, including the critical subjects for her study program, but also 98% in accounting. And the Achievers Awards, Prof. Akho Dambuza. Akho is enrolled for an MB-CHB after a 91.17% average in their matric year at Tlokweng Senior Secondary School in Sterkspruit in the Eastern Cape. Akho is the top achiever in their school district, obtained averages of above 90% in all critical subjects, including an average of 97 for life sciences, 93% for mathematics, 92% for physical sciences, and 95% for geography. Palesa Hlati. Palesa is enrolled for MB-CHB after a 91.83% in her matric year at Buhlebuzile Secondary School in Thokoza in Gauteng. Palesa obtained an average of 90% in all critical subjects, including 94% for both mathematics and physical sciences, 91% for life sciences, an average of 93% for accounting, and 91% for religious studies. I think the rest of us are starting to feel like underachievers a little bit. Let's call upon Uratile Malewa. Uratile is enrolled for her MB-CHB after a 91.33% average in her matric year at Ratshepo High School in Gauteng, in Temba in Gauteng. She's the top girl achiever in mathematics and physical sciences in the Tshwane North District, obtained 97% for life sciences, and also one of the top achievers in quintile 4 schools in Gauteng. Congratulations. Freedom Mgenge. Where's Freedom? There we go. Freedom is enrolled for an MB-CHB. After a 91.83% average in their matric year at Ezakheleni Secondary School in Empangeni in KZN. Freedom is one of the top 10 achievers in the school district, and 94% for mathematics, 93% for life sciences, and an average of 89% for physical sciences. Well done, Freedom. And then rounding up the future doctors is Zaria Parker. who is enrolled for her MBCHB after a 95.17% average in their matric year at Star College in Cape Town, obtained sterling marks in all 9 subjects, including an average of 100% for religion studies, 97% for business studies, 95% for life sciences, 83% for mathematics, 80% for physical sciences, and an average of 94% for computer applications technology. Well done. Thank you very much, Prof. May I call Prof. Betty Fielding, please, from the Faculty of Science. He says best faculty. Faculty of Science, best faculty. First, we'll call the Vice-Chancellor's Awards, awarded by the Dean of the Faculty of Science. Let's start with James Prince. James Prince is enrolled for a BSc in Physics in the focal area of Mathematics after a 95.83% in their matric year at the South African College High School in Cape Town. James is amongst the top 40 achievers in the Western Cape, obtaining averages of above 90% in all 8 subjects, an average of 99% in economics and 97% in information technology. Well done, James. Grant Weich, come join your dean. Grant is enrolled for a BSc Physics in the focal area of laser physics after a 95.5% average in their matric year at the Bishop's Diocesan College in Cape Town. Grant is amongst the top 40 achievers in the Western Cape, obtaining averages of above 90% on all his subjects and an average of 98% also in visual arts. And then Achievers Awards at the best faculty. Ian Lieber. Ian is enrolled for a BSc in Physics in the focal area of Statistical Physics after a 95.1% average in their matric year at Paul Roos Gymnasium. He is one of the 40 achievers in the Western Cape, and amongst all his achievements, he obtained an average of 97% both in life sciences and accounting, and an average of 96% for physical sciences and 95% for mathematics. Well done, Ian. And last but certainly not least, our Achiever Awards for the evening, Umlando Muhle Msane. Umlando Muhle is enrolled for his BSc Physics in the focal area of Theoretical Physics after a 90% average in their matric year at Dedangfunde High School in Newcastle in the KZN. His outstanding marks in all critical subjects such as mathematics, physical science, and life science. Yes, take it in. Take it in, Umlando Muhle. Congratulations. Thank you very much, Prof. Thank you very much, Prof. Thank you very much. And can we have a one big, warm round of applause for all our attendees today? Remarkable, remarkable. I'm asking myself what I was doing. I wasn't so bad. But I think you guys make us look like, but anyway, it's not about me. Tonight we also want to salute our principals of the schools that are here today and that have been represented here today, and where our matriculants matriculated, and the recipients of the awards matriculated, rather. And I would like to return to a quote or the words of the rector. This was given at his speech at the Principal's Breakfast last year in October. The rector said, "Our story begins in your classrooms, in your corridors, and your care. The foundations you lay are the ones that we here at the university build on. We look at the schools represented here and we see something deeply encouraging, schools that consistently prepare learners not just to pass, but to excel. Schools that show what's possible when commitment, when leadership, and community converge." And so, close quote. The 2026 Cohort of Excellent awardees matriculated, as you heard from Prof. Richard, from 32 different high schools across the country, representing the 6 provinces: Western Cape, Gauteng, KwaZulu-Natal, Eastern Cape, Mpumalanga, and the Northwest Province. Although the Western Cape is the major catchment province from where SU attracts students from, we see that more than half of tonight's achievers, top achievers, came from provinces other than the Western Cape. And so this is clear evidence of Stellenbosch University's value proposition as a university of choice among top achievers from across the country. And so we are honored here tonight with the presence of 7 school principals who are here, we're now going to call each of them to the podium attending to those who are attending the event to receive a token of appreciation from our Vice-Chancellor. Our recruitment team will also make sure that those principals who could not be here today will also receive theirs. May we call upon Ms. Gwen Olivier, who's the Deputy Rector Academic from Paul Roos Gymnasium. Ms. Gwen, 2 top achievers from Paul Roos tonight received an Excellence Award tonight. SU also salutes the outstanding academic achievement of the Paul Roos Matric Class of 2025. Paul Roos achieved an overall matric pass rate of 100%, of which 96.3% of the boys obtained a bachelor's pass, and a record number of 131 Paul Roos boys have been enrolled at SU this year, which is 66 of them obtained an exam average of 80% and higher. Sterling May we also call to the stage Mr. Jacques Nel, who is the head of Somerset College Senior School, to the podium. Mr. Nell, not only did we acknowledge the academic achievement of 2 of your learners tonight, but also celebrate the achievement of your entire matric class of 2025. Somerset College obtained 100% bachelor's degree pass rate in 2025, which is an unbroken record, which also counts for an average, yes. It also counts for an average of 4 distinctions per matriculant. 60% of the matric class enrolled at SU this year, and more than half of this cohort obtained an exam average of 80% and higher. Sterling work. May I call Mr. Peter Thorpe, who is the upper school principal from the American International School in Cape Town. Not only did we acknowledge the academic achievement of 1 of your learners tonight, but also celebrate the achievement of a total of 5 top achievers from your class of 2025 who obtained an average of 80% and higher and enrolled at Stellenbosch University. Our friendly neighbors from Rhenish Girls High School, Mrs. Tracy Magom, please join us on stage. Welcome. 100% of the matric class of 2025 obtained a bachelor's pass. 76 of these brilliant class enrolled at SU this year, of which 47 obtained an average of 80% and higher in their matric exam. We know Kristen Williamson, who received a VC award tonight, is one of those top achievers enrolled at SU. Congratulations. We can also call upon Ms. Letitia Herman, who's the subject head of geography from Hoërskool Porterville, to the podium. Miss Letitia, not only did Amanda Carstens receive a Vice-Chancellor's Award tonight, but she also obtained 100% in geography, which is a clear testament of your own excellence, Monsieur. And then we are calling onto the stage Mrs. Gillian Sanders, who's the head of sciences from Northwood School, to the podium. Thank you, Ms. Gillian. Not only do we celebrate Kuo Hang Wang's outstanding achievement tonight, but also acknowledge Northwood School's matric class of 2025 and commend them on a total of 315 subject A aggregates received. And of the 13 boys who enrolled at SU, 4 obtained a final grade 12 exam of 80% and higher. Congratulations. And now we are calling to the podium Mr. Isaac Njoko, who is the principal of Letlonkane High School in Newcastle in KZN. Colleagues and guests, this principal, Mr. Isaac Njoko, has traveled 1,467 kilometers to be here tonight, and we celebrate not only the outstanding achievement of Umlando Muhle Msana here tonight, but we also salute you and your teachers at Letlonkane for the sterling work that you're doing. Your school's 98.7% matric pass rate for 2025 is phenomenal. Congratulations. Thank you, Prof. Wonderful to be in your presence this evening as well. And colleagues, guests, students, all of us, that is how we conclude the formal proceedings of this evening. It's been a bright and shining, inspiring evening. It brings our formalities to a close, but I'd like to thank each and every one of you who could be here tonight in person and virtually, as well as the various colleagues who played a role in tonight's ceremony. The senior director at the back there, student recruitment, Christelle Fate, and her team, who are all here today, who are responsible for the careful management of the entire nomination process and also hosting this ceremony. Can we give them a round of applause, please? And so, on that note, please join us in the foyer. There are some refreshments that are served as we meet and greet each other, and we also ask the award recipients and the school principals, as well as the deans, the VC, to please be on the deck for some photographs. Family photos can also be taken there, so please do that. From myself, Katlego, it has been an absolute pleasure, and I'd just like to wish all our students the very best in their endeavors at SU. May this moment always remind you what you are made of. When things get challenging, as they inevitably will do, hold on to the truth that you have done really great things and you will continue to do really great things. And we are all rooting for you. A safe journey back home, everyone. Thank you.